Lamau Fetterman was at fault for the crash. Yeah. So John Fetterman got in a car accident right after talking to Bill Maher about how having a stroke made him conservative or whatever. Apparently, he's been found at fault for the car accident. Now, I didn't expect that. You know, usually when a person gets in a car accident, like, I just like, okay, whatever. There was just some dumb shit at a light. Apparently, my man was speeding and was at fault. So, okay. Actually brain damaged. Apparently, he took a hard right turn without signaling. Oh yeah, that's true. Got a lot of his staffers real upset about that one. It wasn't just speeding. No kidding. At other times, aides have said Fetterman has texted and FaceTimed while driving, prompting concern among his staff and fears about riding with him, according to 3 people with knowledge of staff discussions who spoke in condition of anonymity to describe internal conversations. Fetterman's aides have refrained from messaging him while behind the wheel when they knew he was driving, afraid he would answer them, according to 3 people. One aide asked to no longer be required to ride in the car with him after witnessing Fetterman driving unsafely, they said. The concern sparked an informal practice recently instituted in the office that aides should not be in the car when Fetterman is driving, according to one person familiar with the practice. God damn! So is it about him being a distracted driver, or is it about him being an aggressive driver? It sounds like it's about him being a distracted driver. With his temperament, I guess I would expect him to be like a super road ragey kind of driver. I'm guessing it's both. He was driving at a high rate of speed, well over the speed limit. The speed limit was 70 miles per hour. Jesus. Fetterman rear-ended a vehicle which was being driven by a 62-year-old woman. Fetterman was not tested for alcohol or substance abuse, and the report does not say he was distracted. So probably angry driving then, probably just being a freak, you know? You know when you're driving down the highway late at night and you're going 80 miles an hour because the police, but you're like holding 80 and you're fine at 80 and the rest of the cars are going 80, and then you hear behind you and some freak going 126 miles an hour, like swerving through the consistent traffic, you know? No reason cars shouldn't be limited to 80 max. I genuinely do believe that, by the way. I am a believer in that, 100%. Is it not routine to test people involved in accidents, drug tests? Not necessarily. It depends on their behavior. Vosh, I'm that freak not lying. That's crazy. F you. You, what's wrong with you, dude? Get your thrills somewhere else, okay? Man, go fuck a girl or something. Stop getting your thrills from that. Find a constructive outlet. Street racing is fun, though. Antisocial behavior does not become justifiable just because you think it's fun. You're doing it looks cool this is like social alienation. Like you should, like the people in the neighborhood you're street racing in should pull you out of the car and should pull you out of your car and nothing else. Like everyone hates you. Quit being selfish. You live in a community, in a society. I'm not joking. Quit being selfish. Nobody likes you. You're like the motorcyclists who take the mufflers off, so everyone within a quarter mile is subjected to deafening noises purely to signal to everyone that you have a tiny penis. Like, stop. It's not cool. Stop thinking only of yourself. To be fair, Vosh, I used to speed a lot on the highway, but then I matured. I'm not talking about, like, speeding sometimes, okay? Whomst amongst us. I'm talking about, like, very specific, and you know what I'm talking about if you've spent any amount of time on an American road, you know? You know exactly what the f I am talking about. Why would you speed? That's scary. Because sometimes the freeway will be 65 and every single person on the freeway will be driving 80. Fetterman has an extensive history of speeding and aggressive driving. Again, I'm not doing like cop shit here or whatever. I'm not saying like obey the law, Like, you know, the speed of traffic is dictated not by the speed limit, but rather, I'm not even a big speed limit enjoyer. I think that the speed limit should be determined by the design of the car and the design of the road, not by some arbitrary number that decides like how fast you can go. The most effective speed limit is designing a road that makes people feel best driving that speed, not like putting a number there that people have to deliberately obey. A history of speeding tickets and unsafe driving. Any criticism from the conservatives who are super duper pro-law? Fun fact, the federal speed limit of 55 was instituted to decrease fuel consumption. Interesting. Speed limits are designed based on the road. It's based on how far ahead you can see and if there's blind turns. Yeah, I know, but like I think that often they're pretty ineffective. Hold on one second. I'm being rudely interrupted by my beloved friend who probably has something important to say. The incident on Sunday morning was described as a garden variety car accident by Fetterman's office on Tuesday, with a spokesperson saying the senator and his wife Jaseel, as well as the other driver involved, were transported to a local hospital out of an abundance of caution. Yeah, man, a garden variety car accident going over 70 miles per hour where you rear end an elderly woman and send both of you to the hospital, you know? Totally ordinary, completely normal. His 2021 Chevrolet Traverse had to be towed from the scene due to disabling damage. He rear-ended a woman on the highway so fast that his car broke. Jesus Christ. I wonder if this has gotten significantly worse since his stroke, like because of the brain damage. He's received 2 speeding tickets in Pennsylvania. Somebody in chat said that apparently his vehicle's been towed multiple times. Fetterman vehicle towed. I would need to see a source on that. This is their Chevy Traverse, by the way. Well, yeah, of course Fetterman would drive something that looks like this. Also, in fairness, and I'm actually invoking this one unironically, Fetterman might have a body that justifies a vehicle like this. Can you imagine Fetterman getting out of a sedan? I don't think he could physically fit in a vehicle that wasn't at least a little bit oversized. Like, I'm not joking about that. He might actually have an extenuating circumstances. Yeah, this is an Ogren vehicle, okay? When Fetterman is up for re-election, may we be super ableist to him? Yes, I'm fully, as somebody who has autism and ADHD, I'm fully permitting you guys to be ableist towards a different set of disabilities that Fetterman now has. Here's an article about his speeding from the New York Times. Like, look at him. Jesus Christ, man. Had a problem with audio processing since he had a stroke in 2022, after which a pacemaker defibrillator implanted. Man, why can't we invent a kind of brain damage that makes you left-leaning? In March, he received a speeding ticket in Pennsylvania for driving 34 miles per hour over the limit. Wait, isn't driving this fast like potentially jail time? Am I misremembering? Isn't it like if you drive more than 20 miles per hour over the speed limit, then it goes from like a ticket to like a felony? It can be a felony? Damn, I wish they got him. Depends on the city. Yeah. I still don't see anything that indicates he's had his vehicle towed multiple times, but, you know. Not very garden variety then? Yeah. I think it's rare for even that kind of speeding to be a felony. I think it should be, man. I genuinely hate people who drive like that. Again, I'm not talking about, like, following the speed of traffic, even if the speed of traffic is 15 miles per hour above the speed limit. I'm not talking about that bullshit where a cop will, like, wait behind a sign for, like, on a speed trap, and they'll be, like, you know, waiting for someone to go 1 mile per hour over the speed limit, and then they get pulled over and charged $400. Like, I'm not talking about that bullshit. Very significantly. Well, don't do that, Jose Soto. Why not punish companies for making it possible to drive that fast? Well, that'd be pretty incoherent, right? Like, we've had for like a century, cars have been able to go that fast. Not a century, but almost a century, right? Like, all of a sudden they start getting in trouble. Like, you'd have to pass regulations, not go after them legally. Opinion on driving 30 over when alone on a highway? Dude, just don't. It's not going to get you there that much faster. You're just bored. Put on a podcast, you know? If you're driving such a massive distance that, like, something like that's even considerable, like, I just don't, like, the vehicles, past a certain point in the speed limit, it gets difficult to, like, deal with potholes, road obstructions, to turn quickly, something happens you're not aware of. Like, there's a reason for stuff like this, you know? You're not a NASCAR driver, and you never will be. You don't have the sauce. You suck. They're goated, you're not. You're like a sheep, so drive like it. Drive like a sheep. If you want to go really fast and be like a goddamn hero about it, run, motherfucker. Get on your feet where it matters. Or on a bike. You know? God, dude, look, I can press down on the pedals super hard. Wow, that's crazy. Run. Opinion on Germany not having a speed limit in the Autobahn. I'm not familiar with, like, Autobahn specific policy. I hate cars. I just don't, infer my opinion from like priors, you know? You can legally speed if Freebird is on. That's true. Opinion on insert dangerous antisocial behavior here. I really do think that it's in large part due to, like, social anomie, because I really think that in a functioning society, any motorcyclist who removed their muffler, once they had to stop at a red light, they actually would be, like, beaten. by a mob. I'm just okay. So some people might think I'm exaggerating here because I often do. I want to make it clear that I'm not. I actually think that in a functioning society, all you're removing the muffler from a motorcycle is a deliberate decision that does nothing but cause hearing damage to people. It's literally, what if for no reason I made everyone around me upset? You know, like genuinely, I genuinely think that in a functioning society, it would be met with like some degree of like violent response. Like it's insane to me that like the cities don't crack down on that. You know, those people should be arrested. Like coal rolling, at least coal rolling is like a thing you can do, but the muffler thing is like a permanent identifiable downgrade that you could point to in a court. Like it's not like, oh, they're like you know, they're like holding the da da da. Coal rolling is disgusting. I'm not saying it's not disgusting. I'm saying that it's like not as ambiguous. I mean, if they have the thing like the modifications done, but can't you coal roll even if you haven't made the modifications? I don't know. No, you only can with... Okay, then my misunderstanding. If you've made those modifications, then yes, the police should beat you with hammers. They say the engine sounds good. They enjoy upsetting other people. What's coal rolling? I'm dumb. It's like making your car belch black, disgusting smoke. I've never seen it in person. I've only seen it in, like, movies. I don't think it's as common as the muffler thing, but yeah. Or either or, don't uwo, whatever. It used to be more common. It might be, like, where you are, I guess. It's not for no reason. Socialist Satyr, I'm going to crush you into a cube. It's so drivers can hear you coming and are less likely to cut bikers off or hitting them. I promise you, motorcycles with... There's no reason why a motorcycle would have to be specially loud. You're a vehicle in a vehicle lane. That's total bullshit. You're loud enough. You're louder than a regular car. You're already louder. There's no reason at all. It's totally made up. It's purely to irritate people. Car noise scientifically raises anxiety and aggression levels in a population. All animals respond to this high noise. Yes, 100%. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why people say city life is so anxiety inducing. It's what's the thing that Not Just Bikes always says? Cities aren't loud, cars are loud. And it's true. You know, you can go... Not Just Bikes has a video on a town that basically has like no traffic because of the way they've laid everything out and designed stuff. And the city is super quiet, even in relatively dense areas. Because without cars, what's the loudest shit in a city, man? It's going to be like, what? People talking? What's the noise from? Birds? Babies? Crying? My wife had her eardrum ruptured from no muffler. She was in a tunnel and he revved right next to her when she had the window open. Holy shit, Xdeddy. I'm so sorry to hear that. Jesus Christ. That's horrible. Immediate violence? Yeah, that's like a draw on the motorcycle next to you with your fucking car gun moment right there. Holy shit. Antisocial behavior. I don't care, Logical Pretzels. I just want you to know that specifically, rather than just ignore the message, which I'll read out loud for posterity. Any thoughts on this interaction that I had with the lefty meme page? No. I just need you to I need you to know that. So that it's not like I don't convey perhaps the impression that I just missed it. Sometimes people will email me, and I'm not joking, a thread of multiple images of them arguing in my YouTube comment section, or worse, someone else's. I appreciate your high opinion of me, man. I ain't reading that shit. You kidding me? Vosh, because of you, I sold my car. I'm so much happier, less bills, less parking, and the ability to meet people on public transit. Yeah, no, I genuinely, if your city can accommodate it, I genuinely think in a lot of cases... or having a car that you basically never use, you know, that just like sits in your garage or in front of your garage, and for the most part you don't use it, you know? Though it obviously varies. Like if you can get away with not having a car, it's great. So I guess being loud in those situations would be helpful, but it blows my mind they're legally allowed to drive between lanes in the freeway here. Yeah, there's like let's be clear here, okay? Motorcyclists die way more often than other motorists, and that might be like a good product of natural selection. Cycle. Sorry, Mistress Lynn. Sorry about your son. Hope your son's all right. Hope your son stops riding. But motorcyclists, them weaving between lanes, them and their loud ass, you know, mufflers or lack thereof. Holy shit. Drive a regular car or go on a bus. All right. Why are you driving around a motorcycle? You're not cool. All right. Get a Vespa. Vespas are cool. Vespas are like based in urbanism, European city, drive at 35 miles per hour with a beautiful woman sitting in the back, pilled. You know? People ride motorcycles because it's fun. I just don't respect that, is the thing. I just don't care. Find your kicks in some other way. I don't care. I don't respect it. Motorcycles are cheaper in poorer countries. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like Western. I'm not talking about for it's like, you know, some economic circumstance mandates a motorcycle or whatever. I'm talking about, you know, Navosh motorcycles have a smaller footprint. Bro, you cannot be arguing that you like motorcycles because they're ecologically friendly when Vespas are right there. You cannot, come on, don't cope with me. And you're less likely to take a bunch of people with you. I hard disagree with your take on this. Stop pretending your decision to have a motorcycle is selflessness, okay? Come on. If you actually wanted to be selfless, you'd use public transit or a bike. Come on. You can't take Vespas on the highway? Then don't go on the highway. A bicycle doesn't go on 2-hour trips? What? You know, this is the issue with talking about anything involving cars or any kind of vehicle, because all of a sudden, all the snowflake mother pop up where they're like, actually, I possess the very specific circumstance that requires me to use this socially deleterious, like overall stupid piece of technology that worsens society at large, you know? Like you talk about cars, like, man, we need to cut down on car use, and people in chat are like, excuse me, I'm actually a 478-pound diabetic with missing legs, and the only way I can move myself around is with a vehicle. Like, are you saying that I should simply die? Are you being ableist? Like, man, same with DoorDash. Yeah, what the Sigma? Like well, I have anxiety, and the only way for me to like actually eat, like I get my spoons. I don't have enough spoons to cook my own food. I have to get somebody to DoorDash me a $12 smoothie every morning. It's like, man, grow up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. Not every discussion can be about you. You have to listen for the betterment of mankind. You have to suffer. Okay? I'm sorry. Join society. Bought a bicycle last year, changed my life, lost 40 pounds. Nice. Logical pretzels. Like, I drive my vehicle too. It's just like you have a conversation. Vosh, not everyone lives in the city. That's crazy. Not everyone cares. Do you think when I say take public transit, like stop relying on a car, you're like, oh, wow, I who live in Bump, Idaho, am being attacked here. Come on. Again, this is what I mean. It's not all about you. You know who I'm talking about. You know what we're talking about. Like, don't be disingenuous and pretend that I'm prescribing some kind of like one sentence nationwide policy. You know? You know what I'm on about here. Come on. Rural erasure? Rural environments erase themselves. It's the nature of the game. It's not a personal attack. I'll make it a personal attack if you bring it up, though. Like, if I say something broadly about how motorcycles are objectively bad, which they are, by the way, like they just are, they're just bad, you know, and you're gonna give me like a, you know, like a, well, no, actually, like, then of course, like, you're making yourself a bit of a target there, right? But like, I'm not gonna go to you out on the street and you're in a motorcycle and I'm gonna be like, wow, you, like, I don't know your life, but if you're gonna come at me on that. Anyway, no one here has been that bad. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. We're all fine. Okay? What is bad about them? Sure. Okay. Well, first of all, they're unnecessarily loud. Second of all, they're legally permitted to move irregularly, weaving between traffic and cars. Also, motorcyclists, by virtue of the shape of the bike, tend to move it as though it was, you know, a bike. Right? But the difference between being a pedestrian and getting hit by a bike and being hit by a motorcycle is significant. The shape of the motorcycle dictates its use in like a negative way, I think, in a deleterious fashion, you know? At least with Vespas, they can't go that fast. That's like a deliberate limitation, you know? They're dangerous to the rider significantly. They can't, like, they have no utility the way that a car has. You can't really like carry groceries with a motorcycle. You can with a Vespa, again, speaking favorably to that, or any kind of moped, right? Like those tend to have like carrier capacity, like you fit a few bags in there or whatever. Motorcycles, for the most part, you know, I'm sure you can get attachments, of course, but like, let's be real here. You can't carry that much with them. So you're not even getting that benefit. Let's be real here. Motorcyclists tend to be driven by douchebags. Like, okay, like, let's be fair. Let's be clear on this one. You know, how are motorcycles bad? Mine is so much better in gas mileage. Yeah, because it's not as heavy, of course. You know what's even better? A bike. Even an e-bike. Yeah. I still think car enthusiasts are worse on average than motorcycle enthusiasts. Yeah, it's kind of like different beasts, you know? I just don't get why anyone would want to ride one, man. It's fun. It's really fun. Get an e-bike or something. I'm sorry. Vosh is not cool leather jacket guys. Yeah, you know why? Because they don't exist. I've been to biker bars, real biker bars. They're all in their 50s and 60s, dude. They don't exist anymore. That era of people wearing with like the like the boots and the jeans and the leather jackets, that was an aesthetic. That was an era that is not being replicated anymore. Biker bars are almost exclusively occupied by regular ass people now or older dudes. It's not cool. You're not free burning anymore. You know? The world cannot abide the coexistence of young motorcycle dudes and AirPods. This is like that's not how it works. It's a known issue. Harley Davidson's dying with the boomers. But a lot of people still think of bikers as like, you do know, and I'm being real respectful here. About to say something very insulting. You know that like 99% of the guys you see in motorcycles are losers, right? They're like fat, balding guys in their 30s or older, sometimes with a much suspiciously younger woman behind them, you know, who doesn't look very happy to be there. They're like dads, or they look like it's like midlife crisis shit or whatever. I'm not saying all of them are, you know, it's just like that's the image they give. And then people say, well, it's fun to ride them. Like, man, I'm sure it is. I don't know if that should like validate an entire basically obsolete line of motorcycle or of like motorist technology, right? I don't know. Like if you have fun doing that, go mountain biking. It's probably about as dangerous, but at least it's as good for you. I have a very negative perception of motorcycles. I'm sorry. I don't like them. Do off-roading stuff if you want. The thrill isn't the same. Okay. I don't care about your thrill. There is literally nothing in life I respect less than the thrill of somebody who's like contributing to an antisocial technology or broader behavior. I don't care. You have to get your thrills elsewhere, man. I'm very sorry. Like it's like it's crazy. That's like an argument. I don't know. I don't like motorcycles. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't. Feeling so vindicated right now. Had a shitty ex who rode a motorcycle. There you go. That's who this is for. This is for you, Palm from Soda. What if I took the motor off the motorcycle, made it pedal powered? Might be cooking something here. Vespas should probably be on the road. E-bikes should be in the bike lane.